Okay. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, first and foremost, I want to apologize because it's probably going to be loud up in here. I don't know where any of my gear is. I don't know where the background went. I don't know where my microphone is or my lights. So, y'all are going to hear the craziness that is my life that you usually don't hear because the mic tunes it all out. All right, let's get started. I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. Okay? So let me just shuffle the cards and we'll get started. I had asked the energies what this reading was going to be about, and apparently someone is missing you to the degree that it's making them go nutty, nuts. Making them go peanuts. Oh my God. So I don't know if this is going to be a love reading or what. Y'all know how I feel about love readings, but if that's where the energy needs to go today, then that's where the energy is going to go. I'm not going to be a buster. Buster, what it is right now. Buster, what it is right now. I'm not going to side bust, okay? I'm not going to side bust. Let's just get started. Let's shuffle the cards and see where this goes. A little bit nervous. Not going to lie. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know where this is going to go. So let's pull a couple cards here. I'm not going to look at this deck when I shuffle because it freaks me out. It freaks me out. All right. So once again, this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, for your cross watchers, for empaths, basically for everybody, because that's how, Pisceans are anyways. Like, we be giving everything away to everyone. It's okay. I understand it. I get it. I promise you I get it. Because I do that too. Okay? So get a couple from this deck. We get a couple from this deck. Whew. All right. Ooh. Sorry, guys. I hope someone's like, hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm waiting for a very important delivery. Hold on. Creation is playing games with me. Okay. All right. Ouch. Okay. We've got this. We're ready. So card number 8, take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. So it's looking like you're needing to make a decision. Maybe it's your cross watcher. Maybe it's someone who is watching on behalf of you. Like, they're trying to understand you. They're trying to figure out how to approach this. Maybe they're kind of worried about how successful their efforts will be. I'm wondering if they came really close to burning a bridge with you or already burnt that bridge. And they're trying to figure out if it can be rebuilt. The reality is this: if it was a misunderstanding, if it was, one or both of you just being reactive because you're afraid of what this connection could potentially mean, Pisceans and empaths can overlook that. Pisceans and empaths both are very good at making excuses for people. So with that said, unless you burn that bridge in such a way where you just can't come back from that. And that's kind of hard to do with a Piscean and an empath. We're like, we look for people to forgive. And we're going to be really honest. We basically look for people to forgive. So I think things can be rebuilt, but you have to go about it the right way. You have to be very fair in what your expectation is. First, you have to let them know, like, reconnect, send a message or whatever it is. And then from that point, um you would need to make sure that you don't rush any type of reconnection, that you give them the time, the space, allow them to process, allow them to understand that they're in control of their end, that you're not rushing anything, that you're not trying to force anything, that you kind of just want to reopen this like pathway of communication and kind of just see where it goes. That's an awesome way to rebuild that bridge with a Piscean, with an empath. That doesn't guarantee that they'll let you though. Okay. But if they are willing to, if that's something that they're willing to entertain, like the potential, they'll be more receptive to that technique, that approach, than they would be to just like trying to wine and dine and gifts and like showering them with your affection, because you already broke their trust. You broke their trust, and that's going to take a very long time to earn. Okay. If you can earn it back at all, it just depends on what you did. And if you're going to be sitting there cross watching for a Piscean or an empath, and you're going to be all offended about, like, what you mean what I did? You did something. You did something. You heard a Piscean or an empath. You did something. That's why you're here. Because you did something. And if you can't accept that you did something, there's no point in you watching. You're just going to stress yourself out. You're just going to stress yourself out, because I'm not going to teach you how to manipulate an empath or a Piscean. So I want to put that out there real quick. Like, be honest with yourself. If you didn't do anything, the Piscean would still be making excuses for you. That's how Pisceans work. If you didn't do anything that they absolutely cannot ignore and deny and explain away and make excuses for, they still be messing with you. They would still be effing with you. But the fact that you're here cross-watching tells me you did something. You intentionally hurt their feelings. You intentionally disregarded how your energy, behaviors, and decisions negatively impacted them. If you can't take accountability, whatever comes out your mouth when you try and reconnect with this Piscean or empath, it's going to come off like a lie, and they're going to roast you. And I'm going to dance by the flames. I'm just saying, let me take my socks off. I'm getting all heated. I'm getting all heated. I got to take at least one sock off. Okay. All right. So carrying on, 8 of Spring, stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. So Pisceans and empaths are going through a lot. This is telling me that you're going through a lot. Whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to get through it. You've gotten through everything in life. There's no reason to believe that this is something different that you can't get through, overcome, all of that lovely, lovely sentiment. Okay. 5 of Autumn. Reach out to others for assistance, poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. I'm wondering, like, for Pisceans and empaths, is this a message of how you have made it your career to nurture people, and it's to the point where it's now enabling toxic behaviors? Empaths also have to hold themselves accountable for the decisions they make, and a lot of the decisions we make in regards to how we interact with other people, oftentimes it empowers their sense of disempowerment and enables their sense of, lacking the capability to do the things they need to do. So, poor timing for a career change. It feels like for some of the empaths and Pisceans, you're not yet done with that role of like parenting a grown-ass person. Joy's just talking to Damo. Don't worry. They're not actually fighting. Demo is just he's in love with her. This is what you guys miss out when my microphone is connected. He's so in love with her, but he's a borble and he's effing huge. And that's not really compatible with a Chewini. But she has a crush on him too. So it's kind of like that's her letting him know, like, back up just a little bit, but don't go away. She's so Piscean, I swear to God. Back up just a little bit, but don't go away. Because if you really go away when I snarl at you, then I'm gonna go run after you because like I didn't really want you to go away, but I just wanted you to take a step back. You can still sniff my booty. That's their conversation all day. I'm just like, you two are annoying. So I feel like whoever it is, you're not done with this. You're not done with this. They're not done with you. Right? What the hell is this? I don't know if you guys can hear the TV too. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. And then the whole feeling challenged by money issues. That could be currency, energy, feeling challenged by the energy of what's going on. Maybe you're investing too much of your energy into this other person. Maybe they're investing so much of their energy that you feel it draining you. Just so many different potentialities with that card. Four of autumn. Manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend and save. Help out those who are less fortunate. So this is telling me that uh, it's basically confirmation of what I just said. One of you is giving too much, the other is taking too much. There's a imbalance going on. You have to be aware of what you spend your energy on and whether or not it's something you should be spending your energy on. The reality of a Piscean or an empath is that we often give too much and expect nothing in return. And it's not that we're better than everyone or nicer or, more evolved or any of that. It's that we like to be needed. And, Pisceans and empaths, we have to recognize that's emotional manipulation. Okay, martyrdom, when you martyr yourself, that's emotional manipulation. You are emotionally manipulating someone to see and need you in a way that maybe they don't see or need you in that way. And you're doing things to create that need. I mean, if you have true Piscean energy, you don't got to do nothing but be yourself. And I swear to God, people are addicted to you left and right for no damn reason other than because you breathe. Tell me where I lied. Yeah, no, Pisceans oftentimes will have this struggle with people because they get very addicted to your energy. It's extremely intoxicating. It is extremely intoxicating. That Piscean energy, I mean, toxic or not, like it's just intoxicating. If you're a toxic Piscean, people who like toxicity will just they just can't get enough of you. Oh my God. I love it when she claws me. I love it when she's crazy, And then when you're not a toxic Piscean, there's like, oh my God, there's just something of like you leave them alone. Leave Pisceans alone. No, I think some Pisceans don't want to be left alone is the problem. I think some Pisceans are still going through whatever those cycles are where you're creating this false narrative within your head regarding what you need to do in order to be relevant and necessary and wanted and needed. If you go to the very root of what this is, to the actual root ball, you'll see this ties into abandonment and rejection issues from childhood. You'll see that it's something that happened when you were a kid and it made you feel like, people will only love you if you overgive, if you accommodate, if you're a good person. You can be a good person and not be a doormat. That's a hard thing to hear, but it's the truth. You could be a good person and not be a doormat. People are going to have their opinion of you regardless. When you play by their rules, you think that because you're playing by their rules and accommodating them, then now they're obligated to be nice to you, to need you, to love you, respect you, value you. And oftentimes they won't. They'll see it as like you're just a doormat and I could do whatever I want. And you're going to take it. And you know that's not the case. You know that's not the case. You know that you're just like trying to be patient, but it doesn't get interpreted that way. They interpret it in a different way. Here's the situation. You live in a space within yourself that operates in that way, where you can anticipate other people's needs, you can accommodate them without them asking. To you, it's just common sense, it's common courtesy, it's the right thing to do. But in the world that you live in, the real world, I hate that term, in this real world, um, those types of characteristics are indicative of weakness for some reason. That's how it's interpreted, that's how it's received. Most people, when I was still just only letting myself be nice, because I didn't want anyone to be mad at me or disappointed or any of that, I was already publicly visible. Um, but I still felt like I had to be nothing but nice. And that's all they ever saw. And these bitches just had to try because they thought I was weak because of that. And they had to learn the hard way. Bitch, you got that twisted. You really got that twisted. You really thought that I would continue to just allow. And then you had to learn that I wasn't going to just allow. And see, that's the tricky part about a Piscean, because you never know where that line is. They're so fluid that that line often gets blurred, moved around, and then you don't know where it is. And then you're expected to know, but then they didn't really tell you, but then you kind of thought, but then you realize you didn't really know them. So it's just a messy situation. It becomes super messy. And how do we fix this? By actually stating your needs and then giving people the time to process and decide for themselves whether they agree, whether they're in alignment with your needs as you state them. Okay? Like, this is not about controlling someone or dictating or any of that, to be honest. This is about communication. That's a huge theme for Pisceans lately. Huge theme about communicating your needs. It's a need, it's not a want. Sometimes wants you can be coy and like play whatever game you want and make it harder or easier for the person you're interested in to figure out what you want. I mean, some people, they get off on that. That's fine. That's you, boo. Do you. Do your kinks in your private space. That's you. It's okay. But here's the thing, most people, if you don't make things known, what you want, what ends up happening is most people are simple people. Not simple like they're less than you, but simple in that if you don't communicate it, they think it doesn't exist. I'm sorry, multidimensional empaths and Pisceans. They're not looking at the same nut from several different bleachers, several levels of bleachers. You know what I mean? To most people, that nut's on the table. All they see is a nut. You're over here, different layers and levels and angles, positionings. And you're like the textures and the scents and the flavors. And the person's just like, oh, it's a nut on the table. Pisceans. Pisceans and empaths, let's please vocalize. There's so many different types of communication. The most effective kind when you're dealing with a human being is verbal, being very clear, very, very just like concise with the words that you choose, like really selecting the words properly. You know what I mean? Like, you could be like, maybe it's a friend who keeps borrowing money from you, right? You could, the basic way to say it is like, you asked me a few times already to borrow money. So then that tells them like, yeah, it's just been a few times. When you word it in such a way where it's like, your financial assistance requests have become excessive, like excessive, and I really can't accommodate it at this point. Then it's like, oh shit, excessive. Have I really been asking for too much? Yes, bitch. That's why I said excessive. See what I'm saying? It's very concise. Like, you are very clear, using as few words as possible. And that's another thing you have to be careful of, Pisceans and empaths. Using too many words to to express a basic need. You know what I mean? Like, instead of, for me personally, instead of like I do so much for you and you never, like, even if I just want to talk, you're never available, and I so go out of my way all the time, and I just, I'm wondering what I'm doing here. And no, how I would do it, bruh, I need reciprocity. I give this much and I don't see you reciprocating. So, like, where are we? That's so short-winded. There's no tuning you out. I hate when people nag. If you don't get what you need to say out within the first couple of sentences, like, I'm gone. I'm like, oh, look at that texture. You know what? Should we redo the walls? Well, and then we could, like, the baseboard. Yeah, and you're still talking. I'm over here. I'm the room. I'm remodeling the room at this point. You see how that works? True story. If you don't get it out in the first few sentences, and my eyes glaze over, and I'm like, oh, there's a portal across the street. We have to learn to communicate effectively using concise words, like carefully selected words. All right. Okay. So, shadow and ethos. Ooh. There's a lot of stuff going on. Joy felt it. That's why she barked. There's a lot of stuff going on that really, it has to do with much more deeply rooted struggles that you've been having in life. Whether it's you or your cross watcher. Oh, why did I look? Okay. Whether it's you or your cross watcher, there's a lot of, like, deeply rooted things that this Mercury fuckery grade it's just bringing things up. Okay, hold on. The ethos is defined as a characteristic spirit of a culture, era, or community as manifested in its beliefs and aspirations. It's used to describe the guiding beliefs or ideals that characterize a community, nation, or ideology. It's a shadow ethos. Okay. The Greeks also use this word to refer to the power of music to influence emotions, behaviors, and even morals. Are you dealing with a Scorpio? I mean, just don't say that. Okay. Okay. I slapped myself back into correctness. I don't know. For some of you, you're dealing with someone who uses music to communicate. Okay. And I'm wondering if you're hearing certain types of songs and whatnot, expressing certain pathways that need to be explored within your personal journey. So for some, it's this sense of, like, music is being used to prime you to receive actual messages, communication. Either it's going to just remain etheric in dream time, random conversations you're having in your head, things like that, or you're being primed for actual communication. Okay. Yeah. So it's just one of those things that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. Don't want to take it out on you. So you have guardians with you during this period. This period of shamanic death, metaphoric death, spiritual death. You're being guarded. You're going to be okay. Okay, you're going to be okay. But you have to make sure you actually process whatever it is that's needing to be processed in this period. I mean, are we not yet tired of repeating the same shit over and over and over? Are we not tired of that? Joy is screaming. She said yes. What is she doing down there? Um, she's not she. This period is very like it's testing boundaries is what it is. Hold on, let me tell my kids to bring Joy up here because I think she's sick of demo. Hold up. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. He's in trouble now too. Oh, he's being put in his crate. Hey, can you let Joy come up here with me so she can just chill out? Thank you. Bye. They're both in trouble. Yeah, no, she's okay. She's getting her karma is what it is. She's always all up in everyone's business, and now she finally has a puppy who's all up in her business, and she don't like it. She don't like it. But the reality is that's what she does to every single other effing dog we meet. All up in their business. Come on in. Joy, come here, little girl. Come on. Thank you. Yep. Can you close the door so she can't run out?
Love you, Mom.
Love you too. Joy, why you keep yelling? Take this out. She's fine, you guys. You smell your booty? This is why you're mad? You had your booty sniffed and you didn't like it? Hold on. She's fine. He's a puppy. He don't know boundaries, just like she don't know boundaries. So she's getting her karma. Yes. All right. So that metaphoric death is what's going on right now. That metaphoric death. Let me just move my cards, you guys, because like I said, Joy doesn't do boundaries. That's for basic peasants. And she's the queen of the house. So we just move the cards. Let's put these here before they offend her. Come on, stay by me. You're perfectly fine. All right. So initiation and manifestation. You're being initiated into this place of basically like being able to call to you the things, experiences, whatever it is that you want to need. And you have to be very mindful of what it is that you've been really, really wanting from other people, from yourself, from life, from situations, all of these things. Like, we don't stop and think about these things. We only half think of it. And then we end up fully manifesting this half-ass thought. And then we wonder why, things never go our way. But it does. It goes the way you choose for it to go. It goes the way you choose for it to go. Like, for example, Miss Joy over here had a half-ass thought that she was going to engage Mr. Demo. She had this half-ass thought. And so when he really went full into like he's going to use her like a bulldozer, he shoved his whole face in her crotch and so her back legs were off the floor because he